show you some examples of PowerPoints that are either used in the past or PowerPoints you could use to sort of mock up. We're going to talk about some guidelines on how to make those PowerPoints, and then we're actually going to make them ourselves. Okay? The first thing we'll talk about is what you need to know if you're going to use PowerPoint in the courtroom. First thing is that if you're actually going to do this for yourselves, you need to have a little patience. Here are some guidelines for making these PowerPoints. Okay? Has anybody ever heard the expression death by PowerPoint? No. Has anybody been to a bad lecture with PowerPoint? No? Okay. A lot of times people put words up on the screen, and instead of focusing on you, they turn around and they read everything from the word on the screen. So good PowerPoint simply don't say every word you go through, so you don't have to practice the material. Okay? Instead, it should all be about the connection with you. The best slides tend to be ones that are really visual. Okay? If you're going to make a slide, these are some of the guidelines that you should use. Put your caption on the top third of the slide. Use minimal text. And keep the fonts readable. It depends on your screen size, but generally speaking, 32 point for a title and 26 for text.
It should never speak for the attorney, ever. If you ever look at the presentations I prepare, the only words that are ever going to be on that screen are full-length jury instructions, or maybe a list of witnesses, or a very important phrase, a threat that was made, or something like that. There are good presentations and there are bad presentations.
Sure.
And the attorney who thinks that the presentation is going to be a substitute for lawyering is presenting a bad presentation. The way I say it is the tail should never wag the dog. You don't back up the presentation, it backs you up. So as you're speaking, whether it's a witness testifying or you're giving your closing argument, all you're really doing is also pulling up a visual that backs up what's being said. It's not saying it for you, it's supporting what you say.
You, in a worst case scenario, if the system crashes in the middle of a jury trial, you should still be able to present an effective closing argument, even without the technology.
Mark Schlifka pointed out to me that in an open close argument, for the jury to follow you along and focus on the same things you are focusing simultaneously is invaluable. And we give jury instructions out to the jurors when they deliberate, but a lot of the times, even though you tell them when you're arguing that they'll get them in the back to review, they take a lot of notes. And they sometimes may miss what you're saying. So for these particular two instances, when I first utilized it, Mark put on the jury instructions on my presentation. So I was able to direct them directly to what I was saying. They were able to follow me at the same time that I was saying it, versus having to write it down. They were visualizing, okay, this is the first proposition.